Well, good evening, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Maya Engel. I'm live in our digital studio, and I'm joined by a very special guest today. That is the one and only Joe Charlevoix, our chief meteorologist. He is live in the Weather Center. And Joe, before we talk about some weather things, I just have to say, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you're having a great day, and what a great place to spend your birthday.
Yeah, well, it is. Once you get in your 40s, and it's just another day, kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway,
40s. I was gonna say, you don't look a day over 30.
I appreciate that. You just had yours, by the way, last week?
Yes, last Saturday was mine.
So we're both Leos.
Both Leos. Yeah. So you can wish both of us a happy birthday. But mostly Joe, because today actually is his birthday. And Joe, unfortunately, the weather wasn't too great for your birthday. It was pretty cloudy. Of course, we saw some storms overnight and then a little bit of rain lingering throughout the day, some clouds. It was a little chilly, but tomorrow should be better, right?
Yeah, so we're looking at a night. So it was good to get the rain, Maya. We did need it for sure. But on the offset of that, we are looking at what should be a nice weekend coming up. So that's good.
Good.
Might be a tad, a little breezy, and maybe some might say even a little tad cool tomorrow. But, we're picking at straws here. It looks pretty good. Let's start with, let's take a look at a couple things here. So I'm learning how this works too. So
yep, new for all of us.
Let me see if we can share. So yes, so that is all the rain that passed through earlier today. That's radar sped up over the last, pretty much 24 hours. I'll kind of show you this. Here is this line of storms that crossed through. Here's the good thing. We didn't get any real severe weather out of this. I did have a viewer, Craig, who lives in Boardman Township. That's not too far from South Boardman, who had almost 3 inches of rain with that. But that's the line of storms. We had a little bit of shower activity. You see the clock there around 4 or 5 o'clock. And now there's the current time. Still a few showers right up in through here, just south of Traverse City, up near Petoskey. In fact, if you're up here, Harbor Springs tuned in, yep, a little bit of rain right there. But nothing that's all that heavy, just some lighter showers up through the UP. And if we look at what we expect to happen tonight with this, let me find our stormcast. Well, the showers end, and then here's tomorrow morning. We're going to enjoy a beautiful day with lots of sunshine coming up tomorrow, Maya. And if you're wondering even beyond that, here's the weekend forecast. What do you think of that, Maya?
It looks lovely. That little sun emoji guy says it all.
And he's got the nice purple sunglasses on.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah, that's right. It's hard to believe. I was looking at the calendar. I mean, we are now, what's today, the 17th?
Yeah.
We're like 4.5 weeks away from the start of fall.
Oh,
I want to put a damper on the nice weekend, but it's summer's zipping by here pretty quick.
That's crazy to think about.
It is. But look at the weekend. I mean, Saturday, partly cloudy, a nice day, upper 70s to upper 80s. Sunday, warmer, kind of muggy. And one more thing, I just want to show you the jet stream. So there's the cooler weather. You see it on top of us right now. So you see where Traverse City, the Western Great Lakes are there, Chicago. We had a cold front pass through. Next week, that shade of red, that's a big dome of very hot weather that's going to park itself over the heart of the country late weekend. We here in northern Michigan are going to be on the edge of that. So we're looking at the potential for some very warm days. It really depends on how far north this big dome of heat gets. But there is the possibility for a couple of very warm days coming up next week. That's just something, to noodle away as we go into next week, looking ahead here.
So it's going to be pretty hot next week. Any chance for rain at all next week?
Not a lot. I put, hang on. I'm looking at okay. There we go. So let me go back to the chances for rain that you just mentioned, Maya. Not a lot, because we're going to have a really nice weekend. Mm-hmm. And then next week, sometimes you get that big ridge that I was just showing you of hot air. And I'm going to give you a fun little term here, Maya, that you might like. Let me go back to sharing this window. So along the edge of the ridge, you see the big bubble of hot air there?
Yeah.
You know what we call storms that ride along the edge of the ridge where we're kind of located?
Ridge riders?
Ridge riders or ridge runners. Very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just kidding, but okay.
Well, you can start filling in for me.
Yeah.
Great. So there is the chance next Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll show you the 7-day forecast. I did put in the chance for maybe a scattered shower or thunderstorm next Tuesday or Wednesday. These temperatures, by the way, I'm not overly confident because of that hot weather on the edge of us. You know, it could be a bit warmer than what we're showing here. But Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, on the edge of that system, maybe a shower or storm rolling through. Here's what it looks like. There's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. See right there?
Yeah.
A little bit of rain kind of rolling through. Nothing that's really substantial. Right there, too. That's early next Wednesday. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm kind of on the edge of that dome of heat there. So that's something we'll keep an eye on.
But until then, looks like it's going to be sunny and hot.
Yeah, pretty much, which I don't mind. We all know when you get into winter, we dream of those kind of days.
These days. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know you like the beach and the warm weather, so you got to take advantage of it while you can. Try to see if there's any comments. Gail Johnson wrote Facebook, good evening. Good evening, Gail. And Trevor Drew, we both know him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh.
Great. So, yeah, it looks like, anyway, nice weekend coming up, Maya. Not a lot of rain over the next week. Chance for some warmer weather next week, too. I wouldn't be surprised. A couple spots perhaps getting close to 90. Not every day next week, but in some of our warmer spots.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess, Joe, we might as well stick around for a few more minutes and see if any of you folks watching have any questions for Joe about the weather this weekend, next week, or just any weather questions in general. You can leave a comment and leave one. I actually got an interesting... I'm going to find it. Someone asked me a weather question the other day. Let's see. Hopefully, okay. So someone said... By the way,
that's the studio back behind me.
Oh, yeah. A little sneak peek.
Yeah. And the green wall.
Mm-hmm.
See that? That's where we actually do the weather out there.
Yep.
Background. Anyway, go ahead, Maya. Sorry.
So someone asked me, when was the last time Traverse City was in the triple digits in temperature?
Okay, I can look that up.
Okay, what would you guess?
Moment here, I can find that out. So the last time Traverse City, I want to say off the top of my head, 2006.
That long ago, really?
Yeah, but I'm going to find out right now. So let me put it in. And this would be for Cherry Capital Airport.
Okay.
In Traverse City, that's where these readings would be taken. So I'm taking a look here, Maya. Yeah, I was right. The last time Traverse City reached 100 degrees or warmer, it was the last day of July 31st, 2006.
Wow.
So we've been kind of close. I know we've had some mid, even upper 80s, but we have not. So what's 2006, 16, 20, 17 years ago already. So it hasn't been that hot since.
And it probably won't get that hot this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't see anything in the short term here, at least. Even next week, I mean, maybe 90, or low 90s, if that. So, good question, though.
Yeah. Let me see if anyone else has any questions.
And just so people know, we'll be doing these, once or twice a week, depending on the weather. Certainly, if there's a big weather event going on, we'll be doing it. And of course, people have questions to kind of catch up on the weather going on around Northern Michigan. One more thing I want to show to Maya, while I'm thinking about it, it is the weekend coming up. So we've talked about how you enjoy the beach. I do want to, oh no, where'd it go? Trying to show my, let me see where this is. Share screen. No, that's not it. We're going to have to check with the engineering department because I can't share the screen. But I was going to show you the water temperatures on the Great Lakes going into the weekend, but they're mainly in the upper 60s and low 70s.
Wow.
I had somebody ask me the other day, when do they peak? And it's usually the second, you think that in July is like usually July and August are hottest temperatures on land,
right.
But typically it's early to mid-September. So we still have a couple more weeks where the water temperatures in the Great Lakes could still be warming up here. I was just going to show because a lot of people go to the beach anyway. it's not showing up. So sorry about that. We'll get this all ironed out. This is like the
next time it'll be flawless. I was actually this past weekend, I was in Chicago and I was in the water, and it was a day that it was on Sunday. So it was a little chilly. It was pretty cloudy. I think it was maybe like 70 degrees, but we were out on a boat and it didn't seem like good swimming weather because of how like cloudy and cold it was. But someone was like, the water temperature is actually 74 degrees. And so we went in the water and it was so lovely. It was amazing. Definitely the warmest water I've been in all year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a little deceiving because it takes a long time to heat up the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
So usually we're already past the peak of the the typical hottest time of the year before the Great Lakes reach their peak, which again is usually in September. But tomorrow looks nice. Again, we're looking at highs around 70. I don't think many would complain with that. A little bit of a breeze out of the northwest and full sunshine out there tomorrow. I don't even think we're going to get much even in the way of clouds tomorrow. And that nice weather should carry over into the weekend too.
Great. So there you go. If you have any weekend plans, want to get outside or go to the beach, looks like it'll be a great weekend for you. So Joe, anything else you want to mention before we sign off here?
No, I'm going to try sharing this one more time. No, it's not there. You know who taught me this and helped me a little bit today? Meteorologist Heather Bricka.
The one and only.
So I'm going to have her help me again tomorrow. Figure this out. But anyway, there's not a lot going on in weather. It's just that chance for some warm weather. And again, nice weekend coming up. So I know, Maya, you love your weekends and you'll be taking good advantage of that.
Yep. As I'm sure you will as well, Joe.
Too, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. And again, in case you missed it, today is indeed Joe's birthday. And if you want to give him the best present of all time, tune in tonight on Up North Live News at 11. And that's really all Joe could ever ask for.
That's right.
Oh, you know what? We might as well stay on.
Somebody did just write in. Jerry.
Oh, interesting.
Joe, our weather normally moves from west to east, Earth's rotation, I guess. Then why do our Atlantic hurricanes move east across the Atlantic? You get that question?
Yeah.
So you're right. You look at the weather that we're going to get. It usually comes across the country. Man, I just wish I could share a screen. I'm going to try one more time. You know what? I might be able to do it. What I think I might have to do is shut this down and then restart it here. Just give me 1 second here, Maya.
Okay.
Oh gosh, now you're really loud.
Oh. Yeah, I can hear myself through your speaker.
Yeah, let me turn those down a little. I like you and all, but that's pretty loud.
Not yet.
Let's see. Maybe restarting this will allow me to share my screen. There's a reason I want to. If I go to Stormcast here, okay, my weather graphics computer. That's what I'm working on. Is opening up here. There we go. So let's see if that fixed it. It did. Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's what I needed to do. So if we take a look at the weather across the country, this is a forecast. It moves from west to east typically. So storm systems come on shore in California. We kind of track them or through Canada across the country. The question is, why do hurricanes typically move more from east to west? And I'm going to expand this out a little bit just kind of to answer this question. There we go. So unfortunately, this doesn't have all the tropical activity, but the tropics, the reason is, just in a nutshell, let me try and pull. There's like a million things I got to hit here. So hang on. There we go. Stop sharing. There we are. Okay. So to answer that question, yes, our weather, Jerry, does come across from west to east across the country. We are in the westerlies, that part of the country right at the 45th parallel. But when you get down in the tropics, the wind pattern changes. You get more of an east wind going across. And these systems that come across typically come off Africa. And the wind pattern there is a lot different. If you go in the southern hemisphere, everything's kind of backwards from what it is in the northern hemisphere. Now, it does have to do with the Earth's rotation. But you get the trade winds. You probably have heard of that, trade winds. If you're down in the Caribbean, if you're in Hawaii, the wind is typically out of the east, not from the west. It's a different wind pattern. So that's the steering pattern that steers these systems off Africa into the Atlantic. Further north, you get more westerlies, which is where we're located. Just that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Good question, Jerry.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, Susan is joining us. Hi, Susan. Susan Radka. She lives I know where Susan lives. Akiak Lake, regular viewer of ours, especially in the morning. Thanks, Susan. Richard, good evening. Jerry. And Susan just asked a question, what's the difference between a hurricane and a typhoon? And the answer to that, they're the same thing.
Really?
They're just in different parts of the world. They're called different things. So we call in the Atlantic, they're hurricanes. But the same type of systems over Japan, Philippines are called typhoons. But it's the same. They just have a different name.
Wow.
Yeah. And in Australia, I believe they're cyclones.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same.
All the same thing. Interesting. I had no idea.
So anyway, yeah, this is our first one. Again, we'll be doing these
probably a couple times a week.
It really depends. If there's big weather, we'll be doing them more frequently.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us here this evening. It's been kind of fun.
This has been fun.
Bye. I'll see you. It's at 9:21 Eastern.
Yep.
I'll see you in the studio in an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Yep.
Right.
And we will see all you folks at 11 o'clock on Up North Live News, 7 and 4. Tune in. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us, and everyone have a great night.